What's up, everybody? Luigi here, and I'm back with Dadcast Games, episode 15. This is a podcast where I come in, I talk about games, talk about something interesting that happened throughout the week. I'll let you guys know about it. If you guys enjoy that, I hope that you share this podcast with anybody you may know. Anyways, guys, starting this week, I have a little update on this podcast. I'm going to be changing it up a little bit. I'm going to start releasing the episodes every Sunday instead of every Saturday, only because I feel like a lot of things happen on Saturdays. And then I don't have the time to talk about it to add it to the podcast. So like I said, like I mentioned before in other episodes, the way I do the podcast, if I see something interesting throughout the week, I'll go on the computer, talk about it, and then at the end I'll just compile everything together and make it into one podcast episode. So if I see something, throughout the week, I'll add it to the podcast. It won't all just be in one segment. So it's all just put together throughout the week. So I figured if I have a whole week's worth of time, including Saturday, which I've realized that there's things that happen on Saturdays, I'll just go ahead and add to it instead of having to wait till the next week for the new episode, right? Yeah, right when everybody. So because I've been doing that, and what happens is that everybody already heard the news. So by the time my episode comes out, you guys already heard the news from everybody else. So that's why I'm changing it up. So I'm going to every Sunday now.
You're listening to Dadcast Games.
So very quickly, I want to talk about Hogwarts: A Legacy. It's a game that I played when it released back in February. Like I mentioned before, I did complete the full game, 100%. I did everything. And if you guys want to hear my thoughts on it, I recommend you guys go check out episode 13. That's where I talk about it and give you my take on the game. But overall, I thought it was very good. But now, the reason why I want to talk about it is because I saw a post earlier this week about Quidditch Champions. I think that's what it's called. So it's just pretty much the Quidditch video game associated with this, I guess. And I don't think I mentioned it before, but it's kind of annoying that they didn't include Quidditch in the Hogwarts Legacy game. And it's starting to feel like they didn't do it because they knew they could make more money, or WB or whatever, they knew they could make more money by releasing a separate game altogether. And I don't know how that's going to go for them, because it doesn't seem like people are willing to spend the money just like that anymore. Like or maybe just because that's how I am now. I don't know. But it seems like it would have been a better idea to add it in as a DLC to it, other than rather than making a separate complete game out of it. But I did see that a lot of people were happy. So apparently there was some leak for the gameplay footage for Quidditch Champions, and it was on Reddit. By the time I looked it up, it was already gone. They had taken it off. But the comments that post had, man, like everybody was hyped. Like everybody's like, "Oh man, like take my money." So I'm wondering, man, how good is this game? I didn't get a chance to watch the video, like the leak or whatever, but it's getting me hyped. And I don't know if if this is something that's done purposely, or maybe I don't know. But just based on the reaction from the Reddit users there, it looks like it's gonna be a really good game. Um, I think I saw somebody said something about it kind of looked like Rocket League in a way, and Rocket League is a pretty fun game. But I don't know. We'll see. And I just wanted to bring this up just because I did see it earlier this week, and I want to talk about it. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you guys play Hogwarts Legacy yet? Do you think that they should have added Quidditch into the game? Do you think they should have added it as a DLC content instead of a separate game altogether?
You're listening to Dadcast Games.
Dude, what the hell is going on with these games nowadays. Like, okay, I'm gonna go on a rant. No, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on it. I'm gonna hold off on it, but I'm gonna talk about the Lord of the Rings Gollum. If you listened to last week's episode, you remember me mentioning this game, and I said that I was excited to play it. I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, and I enjoy that series. And I was holding hope that this game was gonna be fun and exciting. Um, the reason being was why I was excited because I wanted to see the story of Gollum, how he escaped, Sauron and the forces, right? To go over and meet up with the ring bearer, which was Frodo and Sam. And I was just excited to see that part of the story, right? I did figure like that the game was gonna be a little bit more of kind of like a stealth game, but man, I cannot believe it. So just for reference, I didn't buy the game yet. I haven't played it, but I did see the reviews, and I actually watched. I don't know if you guys know Moist Critical on YouTube. That dude did like a gameplay of the first like maybe hour or so of the game, and I watched his video, and man, all the crashes the crashes that he got, a lot of the stuttering that was happening, and that dude is a very like popular YouTuber, so I'm pretty sure he has a pretty freaking good computer. So, because he was playing it on the PC, right? So if that was happening on PC, you know, imagine how it's gonna run on a console unless the game was made for console and then they just had a bad PC port. I don't know. I don't know, but I don't know, man. Like I'm so disappointed. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna actually go through two reviews that I saw on the website online. So for I have one that's from IGN and one that's from Tom's Guide. So if you guys get a chance, go check those out. So I'm gonna start off with Tom's Guide. Before I give you the verdict on Tom's Guide, we're gonna go over the pros and cons, what they said. I'm just gonna read it off the screen, and just let me know what you think. Like, were you excited for this game? Did you think it was gonna be a good game? Did you think it was gonna be like, this is stupid? Why would they pick Gollum as a character of all the characters, right? So that's actually one thing that came to my mind. Like, why would they pick Gollum? But at the same time, I was like, well, it would be kind of interesting to know how Gollum escaped Sauron, right, and his forces. But let's get into this review real quick. Man, I'm getting old. I can't see squat. I gotta freaking increase the. Can't see. What the hell? I got my glasses on. Anyways, so here we go. So here on the review, we've got some pros and cons, right? So what are the pros? There's two pros that they mention here: unique premise and morality system. Those are the pros. Now we got some cons. It has dull action. It has a charmless story. It has poor visuals. And it has frequent disastrous bugs, which is what I saw on the Moist Critical video. The bugs that were happening, crashes and like all the stuttering that was going on, the frame rate drops and whatnot. But yeah, let's get into this real quick. So I like how this review is kind of sorted out. It tells you what they review in each of the sections. So the first section is the Lord of the Rings Gollum review. It's gameplay. So this is just about gameplay. So I'm gonna try to read. It's a lot. It's pretty long, but we'll read it out loud. So yeah, I guess the best way is just to read through it, right? So as you can probably surmise from its name, The Lord of the Rings, Gollum casts you as a eponymous villain on a quest through the fictional land of Middle-earth, a former hobbit corrupted by the influence of the One Ring. Gollum is not exactly a fighter, so the game's moment-to-moment beats primarily revolve around being stealthy. So that's what I mentioned, right? That it's going to be kind of like a stealth game because he doesn't really fight. Even though he can, he's freaking strong, little bastard. But in order to avoid enemies, Gollum must stick to the shadows, only being able to distract foes by throwing a rock in the opposite direction to lure guards away. So this is what a lot of stealth games do nowadays, right? It kind of just, you got to distract the enemies. So it's not really a new idea. So the problem is that this and moving from one dark corner to another is all there is to the core loop of Gollum. It never evolves from being beyond these basic stealth fundamentals, and within the first hour, I'd seen everything that game has to offer. So damn, that's not good, right? For a game of this caliber with the Lord of the Rings name. So it goes on to say there's no traditional combat. Gollum can't wield a sword or any other weapon, but in forced situation, Gollum can use a very simple stealth takedown on a small and specific group of enemies, those that aren't lucky enough to have a helmet. There's little scope for creativity. If the game wants you to sneak past a guard, you must do so. If it wants you to commit murder, then murder you must. So Gollum doesn't unlock any new moves or abilities as you progress through the 12-hour main story. Making matters worse are the highly restrictive linear levels. Forget the dynamic gameplay found in the likes of Dishonored and The Lord of the Rings Gollum. There is only one way to progress. You'll be punished with a game over screen if you don't follow the clearly guided route to the letter. So I hate games like this. It's very disappointing to hear that this game does that, right? I remember, like, I used to enjoy playing Final Fantasy games for their open worldness and all that. But there was a point when I think it was Final Fantasy 12, Final Fantasy 13 that was on PS3. I remember I got it on PS3 where it was very linear. Like, I mean, Final Fantasy games are usually linear, but they kind of allow you to branch off to different areas, right? And sometimes you like branch off to an area you're not supposed to, so you get your ass handed to you. And I remember Final Fantasy 13 kind of changed that a little to where the map, you had to follow that road, right? That linear road. You weren't allowed to like get out of that because then you would encounter like the walls that don't let you, like the invisible walls that don't let you pass that. And I started hating that, right? Like I was like, no, like let me go over there. If I want to go over there, like let me go over there. So hearing that this game does that, like you have to follow that path that they tell you to follow, is very disappointing and it sucks. I really wanted to play this game. So it goes on to say that it's filled with puzzles that are functional but mostly unexciting. So it says that the game is split into 10 chapters, roughly 60 to 90 minutes in length. And most of them are just fetch quests, like chores. It says that it makes it like if you're doing chores instead of playing a video game that you enjoy. So just overall for the gameplay, the game is unsatisfying. There's no action, and it doesn't hold you to play the game. Like it doesn't make you wanna. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. Keep playing this story, right? So I want to jump down now to the graphics and technical issues. So visuals are another area where the Lord of the Rings Gollum comes up frustratingly short. On PS5, it's anything but a showcase for the powerful current gen console, and most of the time looks more like an early PS4 game. In a few spots, it sinks even lower, resembling something that would feel at home on the PS3. So that sucks, man. Textures consistently fail to load, making everything from rocky surfaces to enemy armor resemble a blurry mess. And this is what I came across when I played Redfall, when I mentioned that like it seemed like the textures were not loading up. And it sucks because what's going on with these game companies nowadays? I know for a fact that these developers are not trying to make shitty games. They want to make the best game out there, right? So there's somewhere in between where I don't know, upper management, someone who's making these decisions, right? To say, "Oh, the game's not ready yet. Let's just release it." Cuz I don't know, like in my head it doesn't, like I can't fathom the idea that a developer or somebody who worked on these games, on this game in particular, would be like, the game's still buggy, let's just release it, right? Like, so there's got to be some other authority in these decisions to just release these games in the state that they are. And it sucks. It sucks because quality has gone tremendously low. in these new video games. It sucks for us as consumers, right? As gamers, because we want to enjoy a video game. A lot of times we play video games to escape the reality of the shitty jobs that we may have or whatever it may be, right? Like for me, I enjoy just going into a new world and exploring it and being able to do things, that I otherwise can't do in real life, like fly or whatever, or become a hero or a badass, whatever. So just, I don't know, I can't fathom the idea that a developer would be like, yeah, let's just release it. It's not done, but let's just put it out there for everybody to play. So let's just I'm gonna jump over to the verdict that Tom's Guide gave it, right? So the Lord of the Rings Gollum is an unwelcome throwback to the era of truly awful licensed games. It looks and plays like a movie tie-in game rushed out to meet a tight deadline. And that's true. A lot of times they used to do that, right? It used to be like this big old movie that's coming out. So they would try to rush a video game to come out, in tandem with the movie so people would get hype and buy the video game as well. But there's nothing to that effect right now, right? I think the last thing they took out for like the Lord of the Rings was like something in was it Amazon Prime or something? I don't even know. But it's been a while, right? So continue on here. This is baffling as it was one of the first next gen games announced in 2019 and seemingly had a long production period. But even so, it's a game that conceptually, visually, and technically screams out for additional development time. Patches and updates may squash the bugs, but with core gameplay so dull and lacking, I can't see a saving grace for Gollum. I commend the team at Daedalic Entertainment for trying something slightly different with the franchise, yet the Lord of the Rings Gollum is a joyless experience that packages together restrictive stealth and inconsequential story. An inconsequential story, ugly visuals, and a plethora of technical issues. Much like the one ring that corrupted Smeagol, the Lord of the Rings Gollum deserves to be thrown into the fires of Mount Doom. And I like how he ends that, right? Um, and it sucks. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just want to give a shout out to the editor. I guess Rory Mellon is the editor here at Tom's Guide. Tom's Guide is based in the UK. And yeah, I just wanted to read this review by Tom's Guide. So, what's the verdict that they gave it? They gave it a 1 star out of 5, which is not a very good score. It's even lower than freaking Redfall, isn't it? What did Redfall get? Let's see. Let me go check it out real quick. Yeah, I don't know. I think Redfall got like a 2 star, like 1.5 stars, but did a little bit better than this one. And yeah, what do you guys think about the Lord of the Rings Gollum? Did you guys buy it? Did anybody buy it? Did you play it yet? And do you recommend it? Do you agree with any of the stuff that we just read on this post? Let me know. Maybe I gotta stop liking games or saying that I want to play those games, because for some reason, the past 2 games that I've said I really want to play, like, they've been crappy. Like Redfall, I was really excited for Redfall. Like, man, I'm so disappointed. And now just seeing the Lord of the Rings Gollum being this bad as well, it's like, man, what the hell? What the hell? All right, so now what I want to do, I want to go just quickly over to IGN. I do want to see what IGN rated it. Oh, snap. So we got here this review from Justin Correys. I don't know. So the IGN gave it a 4. 4 stands for bad. The Lord of the Rings Gollum is filled with dull stealth, bad. Let me try that again. Bad platforming and a pointless story, and does little to justify why anyone should take the time to play it. Is it worth your time? No. That sucks. So, as IGN rates it, there's point scales out of 10. They give it a 4, bad. For one reason or another, these games made us wish we'd never played them. Even if there's a good idea or two in there somewhere, they're buried under so many bad ones and poor execution. We simply can't recommend you waste your time on it. So uh, they give it a 4. It's not a good game. So let me know. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions about this game? Have you played it? Are you gonna buy it? Um, I sure as hell I'm not gonna buy it now. That sucks because I did want to try out the story, kind of see what happened to Gollum, but being that it's this bad and boring based on these reviews that I just read, I don't think it's worth me spending $50 or $60 on this game. How much is this game anyways? Is it $60 or is it 70? Oh no, this is a $60 game. Okay, but still, even so, right? Like it's not worth spending $60. Let me know what you think.
You're listening to Dadcast Games.
All right. So if you've been listening to me rant past couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I've been talking a lot of about video gaming prices, right? So you should already know that I'm not too happy with the $70 price increase for video games. And I think the past 2 weeks I mentioned that I was upset and annoyed that Nintendo raised the price of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom to $70, right? And I said I wasn't gonna buy the game at $70, which I didn't. I held my word to it. My friend sent me a link to buy the game through Costco, and Costco had a sale going on, and they were selling the game for $59.99, so $60. So I'm willing to pay the $60, just not the 70. But if you remember last week, I said, swallow your words or whatever, swallow your pride, Luigi. I said that Nintendo has zero reason to increase the price because of the old system that they have. Like, it's a dying system or whatever. But I so I do want to mention though, I did start playing the game. I only played up to the part where you reach the what's it called? Like the first temple, I think. So it's like it's not very far into the game. It's probably like 15 minutes in. But based on that, I did realize that it's very similar to Breath of the Wild. Like the controls, the graphics, everything is very similar to Breath of the Wild. But it's fun gameplay. Like just those 15 minutes got me hooked, got me engaged. The sound effects, the music was just spot on. It was beautiful, right? I enjoyed the 15 minutes that I played of that game. So it got me wondering, right? I did say, oh, Nintendo, Nintendo, you can't increase prices because your system sucks or it's old or it's, on its way out. But it got me thinking, maybe Nintendo is the only company that can raise the prices of their video games to $70. Now, hear me out. I know you're gonna be talking shit, whatever. Especially one of my friends gonna be talking shit. I can already hear him in my head, but just listen to what I have to say. $70. Why should Nintendo now? Why did that? Like I changed my mind all of a sudden, right? The reason is Nintendo comes out with games that are good. They're complete, right? They usually they have a really good record of coming out with a finished product when it comes out. So their quality is usually very spot on, right? With the exception of games here and there, like the Pokemon game that came out, Scarlet and Violet or whatever. But other than that, like usually their games are really spot on, right? And not only that, their games are fun. They're fun to play. It keeps you engaged. So maybe they are the only company that is allowed to increase the price of their video games because they're coming out with games that are cooked completely to perfection. They're fun experiences. And these other companies, Sony and Microsoft, right? They're coming out with these shitty games that are not complete. Seems like they're bringing out these games undercooked and just relying on the fact that they can fix it down the road with patches and whatnot. And like I mentioned back in January's episode. I it's it's like a slap to the face to us gamers, us that are buying these games, paying our hard-earned money to play these experiences, to enjoy these experiences, just to find out that it's a half-baked game that they're gonna fix, 6 months to a year down the road. I did say it before. Usually when that happens, if I buy a game or I see a game that I was excited to play and I see that it's doing bad or it sucks or whatever the case may be, I won't go back to it. Usually because I'm already doing other things, playing other games, enjoying other experiences, right? The biggest one that comes to my mind is Cyberpunk 2077, because okay, it's I don't know when it released, like how long ago, but in the past year or so, year and a half, I've heard that the game is freaking amazing because they fixed it, but I still haven't gone back to it. Even though I'm hearing a lot of good things about it, I still haven't gone back to it because I have other games that I want to play that I'm playing at the moment, and I don't know. I don't know why that happens, but it happens to me a lot. But yeah, um, I did want to mention that maybe Nintendo is the only company that can release games at $70 because of the experiences that you have with those games and no shenanigans, right? They Nintendo truly is a company that worries about quality of their games, and I respect that. I respect that, right? But yeah, what do you guys think? Did you guys play Tears of the Kingdom yet? Are you playing it and you enjoying it? Do you agree with what I just said, or are you pissed off? Let me know in the comments. I don't care if you're angry, if you think I'm a hypocrite. Let me know about it. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this topic.
You're listening to Dadcast Games.
All right, guys. So, last topic that I want to talk about is the PlayStation Showcase that just happened on the 24th of May, right? 2023. So, I just want to go over the games that I am interested in, and it's well, first of all, what I'm going to say is I'm going to tell you what I thought about the showcase, and then just mention some of the games that I am interested in. It's not going to be too long of a topic just because I do have like a reaction video on YouTube that you can check out. Don't forget to check me out on YouTube at Dadcast Games. All right, so what did I think about the PlayStation showcase? I think it was lacking. I think there's not too much there that got me too hyped. Um, there were a few games here and there, but it's nothing that we haven't heard about, right? It's not a lot of things there that were like, oh dang, this is new, or this is a little bit on the dull side. But here are some of the games that I'm excited to play when they are actually released. So first game, and this is the biggest, I think this is my most anticipated game of this year, and that's going to be Final Fantasy 16. Comes out June 22nd. Please, let's not. I hope that my curse isn't real and that this game comes out ready and freaking banging, right? It's a good game. Next game, Alan Wake 2. I remember playing the first one. Very good game. This one comes out October 17th, 2023. And then another game that I'm kind of interested in is Assassin's Creed Mirage. This one comes out October 12th. Then obviously Street Fighter 6 that comes out June 2nd. I don't think I'll be getting that one right away just because I don't have a fight stick. And I feel like you got to play those games with a fight stick. Plus, my hands get cramped up if I play games like that where you have to do combos with your hands on a little smaller controller. So it's a lot easier with the fight stick. And unless I can, I managed to get a $250 for a fight stick or whatever they cost nowadays, I doubt I'll be getting it. What's next? Oh yeah. So Dragon's Dogma 2 looks freaking good. I didn't write down a release date, so I don't think they announced it. Then a really cool game that kind of caught my interest just because I'm very interested in RPGs is Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I don't know if it's like a remake or this game already came out. That one looks kind of cool. It says it's going to release in winter 2023. And then there's one game that I think my kids will like, and it's called The Plucky Squire. This is from Devolver Digital, and it's going to be releasing in 2023. So I think it just said sometime in 2023. So, but yeah, and then obviously just the biggest thing that we got to see out of that was the gameplay footage from Marvel Spider-Man 2. And man, that freaking game looks fantastic. I played the first one. I didn't beat it, which I'm sad about, because it was in a time in my life where like I would play a game and I would just fall asleep or get bored and I would leave it, right? Same thing happened with the Miles Morales game. I bought it. I have it on PlayStation 5, but I only played for about an hour to maybe like 3 hours, and that's about it. Like I didn't go back to it, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself because those two games were freaking awesome games, and I just never finished them. Um, but I don't know. I should go back to it to play it before the new one comes out. But I don't know. I feel like if I do that, then I'm gonna burn myself out, and then when Spider-Man 2 comes out, I'm not gonna want to play it because a lot of the gameplay is gonna be similar to it. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, guys, let me know, what did you guys think about the PlayStation Showcase? Did you like it? What games are you excited to see from PlayStation? Oh yeah, I just remembered. Just one little thing I want to mention. I I was on Twitter, and right after the freaking PlayStation Showcase, freaking Microsoft or Xbox came out showing that a lot of the games that they showed on the showcase were gonna come out on Game Pass. So like freaking Microsoft is a savage fucking assholes, dude. Like they don't let Sony have their moment. And I guess this is a reason why these companies are like at each other's throats, right? Because like in a way Microsoft really is like taking over this market with their Game Pass subscription, right? I don't know. I just thought it was funny. Like it was just like a jab to Sony, like saying, "Yeah, well, you announced them, but they're coming to Game Pass. So if you're on Game Pass, you may as well just buy an Xbox right now or a PC, right?" I don't know. That's just hilarious to me. Um, but what do you think? What did you guys think about the showcase? Let me know in the comments.
You're listening to Dadcast Games.
All right, it's that time again. Guess that mother effing video game song. That's too long, huh? It's that time again, guys. Guess that. Guess that song. This is a little segment where I play 3 video game songs. I play 10 seconds of the song, and you guys have to guess what song it is. Now, I think these 3 songs that I picked are going to be very simple. If you're a longtime gamer like me, an RPG enthusiast, these songs are going to be very easy to guess. And let's get started with song number 1. You know what song that is? Give you a couple seconds to guess. That's freaking right, dudes. One Winged Angel from Final Fantasy VII. The song just gets you hype. Just gets you hype. Um, my wife hates this song. She says that it makes her think of like something scary. Like she thinks it's a scary song, but I like it. I like freaking hearing it. I like bumping it in my car or my headphones whenever I'm listening to video game music. Did you guess it right? Come on, man. It's one of the most iconic video game songs out there, right? This is the One Winged Angel from Final Fantasy VII. So I got this one again from Spotify, and this is by Nobuo Uematsu. This is actually from his band that they created after they made this, called the Black Mages. So go check them out. Freaking awesome albums that they have. It's all on Spotify. The albums are freaking awesome. Let's go to song number 2. You know this song. If you're an RPG fan, you should know this song. Give you a couple seconds to think here. That's right. That's Frog's theme song from Chrono Trigger. Man, what a freaking amazing song that is. So, this song I got it from Spotify. This is from the Malcolm Robinson album. So, it's just a Chrono Trigger soundtrack by Malcolm Robinson. You should check it out. Freaking amazing album. The whole album is freaking awesome. It's the whole soundtrack to Chrono Trigger. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. All right, let's move on to the last and final song. Song number 3. You know this song. Give you a couple seconds to think about it. That's right. This is the Halo theme, the Mjolnir mix. Freaking awesome song right there, dude. Like, just another song that gets you hype, dude. Getting ready to go in and destroy some Covenant. The reason why I picked this song because I've been playing the Halo Master Chief Collection. And I've been trying to do the lasso runs. I've been doing the first Halo game, so Halo Combat Evolved on lasso. So for those of you that don't know, lasso stands for Legendary All Skulls On, and it's freaking difficult. It's like one of the most difficult challenges out there. I'm still on Halo 1 and I'm planning on doing all the Halo games, which I am going to upload to my YouTube channel, Dadcast Games, so go check it out. But yeah, this song, you can get it. I got it from Spotify. It's the Halo theme Mjolnir mix by Martin O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore. So just type in Halo theme Mjolnir mix and you should find it on Spotify. Go check it out. So how many songs did you guys get this week? Should have been an easy one. This should have been a very easy one. Let me know in the comments how many you guys got.
You're listening to Dadcast Games.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening to this podcast, for sticking with me. I'm trying to get better at this podcasting thing, right? So I want to hear your advice. What do you think I can do to make this podcast better? Don't forget, guys, I'm going to start uploading this podcast every Sunday from now on. Unless things change, I'll update you later on. But for now, it seems like I'm going to be uploading every Sunday. So don't forget, Dadcast Games Podcast every Sunday. I also want to remind you that this podcast is available on Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And if you're listening on Spotify, don't forget that I also leave a question for you guys to interact with. Interact with it. I see that nobody really interacted with the last couple episodes, but it'd be nice to see somebody interact with those. So don't forget, I do leave it. Just if you're on Spotify, go to the episode that you're listening to, scroll all the way down, and there's usually a question that I ask every one of you. So go ahead and answer that question. And just interactivity between us two somehow, right? What else? Also, I'm on YouTube, YouTube.com/Dadcast Games. You can find me on YouTube at Dadcast Games without spaces. What I usually upload there is just whatever game I'm playing. I think right now what I'm uploading is my Super Mario Brothers 3 playthrough that I went through. I was playing it and I was showing my son the game. He didn't want to play it, but he watched me play through it and we had fun. I am uploading that onto YouTube right now. I also uploaded my reactions to the PlayStation Showcase. You can see my full reaction to the whole event, which was about an hour and like 10 or 15 minutes long. Or you could just see each trailer individually. I did upload each trailer individually. So you can go check that out on my Dadcast Games channel on YouTube. And if you're there, might as well just hit that subscribe button. Right? Let's get more subscribers on there. And with that being said, guys, I want to thank you for listening, for being here with me. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Later.